Hello everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. So in this video, we are going to learn how to create invoice customer from Google Form submission. So let's suppose I am running a gym and a training center and I am collecting all my potential clients with the help of Google Forms. Now I want that whenever I receive a new form submission, it should be automatically created as a customer in my invoice. So I'm going to completely automate this process, and to do this, I'm going to use Pabbly Connect. So Pabbly Connect is an amazing automation and integration software which requires no coding or programming skills. Here I just need to build connection between Google Forms and invoice. Pabbly Connect runs on two principles, which is trigger and action. Here as my trigger application, I am going to take Google Forms, from where I will receive new form submission, and this complete workflow here will get triggered. And then in my action application, I am going to take invoice, where the customer will be created as soon as the form submission will be made. If you want to learn this amazing automation step by step, then let me take you all to my screen. In this video, we are going to learn how to create invoice customer from Google Form response. For this, we are going to create automation between Google Forms and invoice with the help of Pabbly Connect. So this is the landing page of Pabbly, and you can visit this simply by typing pabbly.com/connect in your browser. Now after browsing the website, we need to sign into a Pabbly account. On the top right corner, you can see two options, sign in and sign up for free. If you are an existing user, click on this sign in. But if you are a new user, click on this sign up for free, and this will give you 100 tasks free on monthly basis. As I am an existing user, I'll click on the sign in. And here a dashboard has appeared showing me all the Pabbly applications. Here I need to click on this Pabbly Connect Access Now. And it has taken me to this dashboard where I will be able to find all my workflows here and all the folders that I have created over here. If you want to create a new folder, you just need to click on this plus icon, and from here you can create a new folder. For now, I want to create a new workflow, for which I need to click on this create workflow. And first I need to give the workflow name and then select the folder in which I want to save this workflow. So first let's name this workflow as how to create invoice customer from Google Form submission. Now I need to select my folder. So these are the folders that have been created, and I want to select this all automations and then click on create. Now as soon as I click on create, two boxes have appeared in front of me. One is trigger, other is action. So trigger says when this happens, action says do this. So trigger is basically an event which starts the automation of a workflow. There can be only one trigger in a workflow, but as many as action applications as you want. Here in this workflow, I want to create invoice customer from Google Form submission, which means whenever a form submission will be made, an invoice customer will be created automatically, which means whenever a form submission will be made, this complete workflow here will get triggered, as in the trigger it says when this happens. So whenever a Google Form submission will be happening, do this. A customer will be created in invoice. So here in my trigger application, I am going to take Google Forms, and then in my trigger event, I'll take new response received. Now I need to make connection between Google Forms and Pabbly Connect, for which a webhook URL is provided to me, and this URL is going to act as a bridge to connect my Google Forms with Pabbly Connect. So reading this help desk given below over here, I will make this connection, and to make this connection, let me take you to my Google Forms. So this is my Google Form by the name Gym222, and I have all these fields: first name, last name, email, phone, how did you hear about us, and the membership type. Now this membership type is my last field, and we have to make sure that we turn on this required button of the last field on, and then I have to scroll above and I have to click on this responses, and then I will be able to find this view in sheets. So I have to click on this, and then this sheet will appear in front of me, and it has all the fields that I have in my Google Form: first name, last name, email, phone, how did you hear about us, and the membership type. This means my Google Forms and Google Sheet is connected, and all the fields that I have in this form has appeared in this Google Sheets. So now to build this connection, I have to first click on this extensions, then go to add-ons, and then go to get add-ons. Now over here, Google Workspace Marketplace has appeared in front of me, where I need to search for Pabbly Connect webhooks. and it is showing installed because I have already installed this in my Google Sheets. But if you are doing this for the first time, you have to follow the same process and then make sure that you refresh your Google Sheets after installing. Now after installing Pabbly Connect Webhooks, I have to go to this Pabbly Connect Webhooks and then click on this initial setup. Now this box has appeared in front of me where I need to enter the webhook URL and the trigger column. So this URL is the same webhook URL which I am provided in my Pabbly Connect workflow. So I will copy this webhook URL and paste that webhook URL over here, and then I need to enter the trigger column, and it is written the trigger column will be a final data column on which if the data is added, the whole of that row data will be sent to the webhook URL. So over here in this sheet, my final data entry column is column G, and as soon as I add data in this column, the complete row data will be sent to Pabbly Connect. So over here I will enter the last column or the trigger column or the final data entry column, which is G, and then I have to simply click on this submit. Setup configured successfully. Now I have to do one more important step. I have to go back to extensions, go to Pabbly Connect Webhooks, and then I have to click on the send on event. So this step will make sure whatever data I add in future, it is sent to Pabbly Connect. Now let's go back to Pabbly Connect, and over here we can see waiting for the webhook response, and under this it is written now log into the application where you have added the webhook URL and do test submission so that the data can be recorded here in the webhook response. This means so as to get the webhook response over here, I need to do a test submission, for which I need to fill a form, and for that I need to go back to my Google Forms, and over here I can see this send option. So I have to click this, and then over here I can see this link to the form. So I have to copy this and paste that in a new tab. And then I'm going to enter some dummy details over in these fields. So let's say my first name is. So here I have entered all my details. First name is new, last name is user, email address is new424@pabblytudes.com. Phone number is this. How did you hear about us is social media, and then the membership type is monthly. Now I simply have to click on this submit. So I have submitted my form, and this detail should be received in my Pabbly Connect. So let's go back to Pabbly Connect and check whether we have received this response there or not. So here I can see I have instantly captured the response. The trigger column was column G. Phone number was this. Membership type is monthly. Last name is user. First name is new. Email address is new424@pabblytudes.com. And how did you hear about us was social media. So we have received all the response that we have entered in my Google Forms while submitting the form in my Pabbly Connect, and this shows that the connection between Pabbly Connect and Google Forms is successful, and whenever someone will submit Google Forms, I will start receiving all the response in my Pabbly Connect. So now moving on to the next step, whenever I receive a new response in my Google Forms, I want to create customer in Invoice. So here my action application will be Invoice. And then my action event will be create customer, because I want to create customer whenever I receive a new form submission. Now I have to click on this connect, and if you have an existing connection, go with save. If you don't have one, click on this add new connection, and to make this connection I have to enter the API key. So to enter this API key, I have to go to integrations and then API key. So let's open my Invoice account. This is my Invoice account, and this is the app dashboard. On the left hand side I can see all the options. Here I have to open this integrations, and then over here I can see this API key. So I'm going to copy this and paste that over here. Now I have to click on this save. So Invoice is connected with Pabbly Connect, and now I have to enter all these details. So the first one is first name. So to enter this, I'm going to use a method called mapping, which means I'm going to enter data from my previous response. So in this workflow, I have received response from Google Forms. So here I will simply click on this first name field, and instead of manually typing it, I am going to click on this Google Forms, and I will be able to find all the response that I have captured from my Google Forms. So here in my first name, I can see this was my first name, so I will enter that, and then I will enter the last name following the same process. So the last name was user, and then I have not received the company name, and then I will enter the email address following the same process. So the email address was new424@pabblytudes.com, and then the mobile number was this one. Now I have not received any address or the legal info, so I am going to skip this, and also the BCC and the CC fields are not required ones, so I am going to skip this. Then in the currency I am going to write INR, and then in the language I am going to enter EN. Then in the date format I am going to use this date DDMMYYY, and then in the attached PDF I want to select this as none. And then the notes and the tags are not required fields, so I'll skip this. Now over here mapping is important, so that every time you receive a new response, it is taken into consideration in these fields. Manually entering the data will make these fields static, and the information will not change even if you have received the new response. Over here if I manually enter any data, this field will become static, and every time I receive a new response, the result will not change. So as to keep these fields dynamic, we use this process mapping. Now after entering all these details, I have to scroll down and simply click on the save and send test request. And here I can see I have received the response. Now I need to open my Invoice and check whether this customer has been created there or not. So over here on the left hand side I can see all the options. Here I will click on this customers, and I can see I have instantly created this new user. So the name was new user, email address was new424@pablitudes.com. Now so as to check whether this automation is working perfectly fine or not, let's open my Google Forms and fill some other form. So I'm going to click on this send, and then I'm going to copy the link to this form and then paste that in a new tab. And here I am going to enter some dummy details. So let's say this time my name is latest, my last name is user, my email address is latest78@pablitudes.com, and then my mobile number is, and then how did I hear about is website, and then the membership type is annual, and now I'll click on the submit. Now as soon as I've submitted my form, a customer should be created in Invoice. So let's go back to Invoice, and here let's refresh this page once, and we can see we have instantly created this latest user. Also the email address was latest78@pablitudes.com. So now to summarize, we took Google Forms as a trigger application where we made connection with Pabbly Connect with the help of this webhook URL. We submitted a form and received the response over here, after which we took Invoice as our action application where we made connection with Pabbly Connect, entered all these details with the help of mapping, simply clicked on the save and send test request, and received the response as this customer being created in my Invoice account. So we have successfully created automation between Google Forms and Invoice with the help of Pabbly Connect. I hope you like this video. Thanks for watching. Not only these applications, but you can integrate many more applications with the help of Pabbly Connect. Now if you have any doubt, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any query, you can reach at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issue, you can visit the website given over here. Also, if you find our videos helpful, do share it with your friends and like and subscribe to our channel.